and the 150th episode of the Still Spinning podcast. What's 150? Sesqui?
I
Not
have
sesquicentennial,
no idea.
right? It's the.
Is it just? Well,
no,
it's
got some really. It's got some long name to it. Semi-centennial and whatever. It's the 150th episode. It's Dan and Nicole. How are you doing? Welcome. And when I say welcome, I'm specifically talking to you, Nicole. Welcome home.
Dan, what an adventure. I genuinely thought there was a chance I was going to die in Aspen.
So for those of you who don't know, we were all ready to go. Last week's podcast, it is sesquicentennial. Okay.
Well, there you go.
So we were all ready to go with last week's podcast. We were like, it was planned on the schedule. We knew Monday. We knew the Monday before wasn't going to happen. We got next week is not going to happen. And so we were like, we got 2 episodes right here in the middle of August. Yeah, it'll be good. But it didn't happen.
It was not.
And the reason it didn't happen?
I was trapped in Aspen, Colorado. So Paul, myself, and a friend of ours went for a wedding in Aspen. We flew in Thursday, 0 problems. Flew out of Chicago. Yeah, please.
Trapped. Now people hear Aspen, Colorado, and trapped.
Oh, I'll explain.
Yeah, right. But I'm saying it really doesn't matter where you are. If you're trapped at the airport, you're trapped at the airport. You could be in Dallas, you could be in Aspen. So everyone's like, "Oh, that's trapped in Aspen. How terrible!" No, it's not like you're driving around Aspen, hanging out, doing Aspen things. You're at the airport, so you might as well be at Denver or Boise. It doesn't matter where you are. You're trapped at the airport.
And this isn't even like I would have preferred to be trapped in a Denver or O'Hare or. Because at least there's stuff. This is the smallest airport known to man. It is tiny. It's smaller than Bozeman. That was up until that was the smallest one. Oh yeah.
Aspen Airport is smaller than Bozeman, because I've been to Bozeman Airport, and that is ridiculous. You laugh because you're like, this can't be a real functioning airport.
Yes, there's not even a jetway that goes. You walk outside to board all the planes. Now, there were 50 private planes parked there.
Right.
And apparently they're closing this airport down for 6 months, 6 months or 9 months in September. The whole Aspen airport's getting shut down.
For what? For
their
redoing
infrastructure,
something?
They're redoing the runway. I hope to God they're doing something with the terminal.
Like putting something in it?
Oh God, yes. So we got in with no problems. First flight out of Chicago, Thursday morning, which was I want to say we left at 8:50, 10 to 9 was the first flight. Landed, no problem. The plane right after us, canceled. Flight out of Chicago, canceled. A whole bunch of people that came in on Thursday had a lot of problems getting in. We didn't, and I think we got cocky about it. So,
don't get cocky, kid.
Don't get cocky. That's when all hell breaks loose. So Sunday, our flight was scheduled for 12:39. We asked, how early do we need to get there? Because Paul and I are 2 hour early kind of people. But this airport...
Because you're from Chicago. And
right,
you go, yeah,
right.
Yeah.
This is like a postage stamp. So we arrive at 11. So an hour and a half, hour and 39 minutes.
Yeah.
We check our bags. Everything's fine. We're just sitting. We had a bunch of beverages from our hotel room, so we had them all in our bags. So we were sitting in the ticketing area, which is literally 2 counters for all the different air travel.
Yep.
There was no security line. You just walked up. You know what I mean? It was just there really was nothing there. I'm trying to equate it to the size of something everyone's been in.
Well, have you been
tiny?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, have you been to the Moline Airport in the Quad Cities? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of. Although that Moline is bigger than Bozeman, but it's if you're flying out of Moline, you're good a half hour before your flight. You can show up if you're you're getting through security in 2 minutes and you're on the other side. So
yeah, and there's nothing. Thank God we waited as long as we did on that side, because on the other side there was literally one, and I'm using the term restaurant in the loosest of definitions.
Why? What was so wrong with it?
There was a counter, and you could go up and get a quesadilla or a burger, but it wasn't even airport food quality. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It was fine. It was fine.
my airport food has been really good late. Like the last,
that's just it.
because but now it's, you go and you get like a pork rib or a barbecue pulled pork sandwich and it's like $37, but still.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everything was insanely expensive and nothing was marked. So you had to do whatever. So we check in at 11. We're drinking our beverages. I get the first ding on my phone like 10 minutes later. Flight's delayed 2 hours. All right, 2:00. That's not terrible. I mean, I guess, whatever. We've already checked our bags, so, we're kind of trapped at the airport. Then the second ding. 6 more hours. Or maybe this was 6 hours total. So we were supposed to leave at 12:39. Now we're leaving at like 6:40. Okay, cool.
No, awesome. Bad. That's bad. That's when you first texted me too, right?
No. Well,
I think because I remember the first one it was supposed to be this, and now it's a 6-hour delay, and I think that was our first conversation about this.
And then it's possible. It is possible. In total, on Sunday, there were over 7 delays. Just like ding, ding, ding. Now, we were at a wedding. There was also apparently Kevin Costner has a ranch in Aspen, and when he's not there, rents it out for weddings, and there was a huge wedding there as well. So there were a lot of people. And there aren't many airlines that fly out. I think there was one Delta flight. There were a couple American flights and a couple United. We were on United.
And they're trying to keep the riffraff out as far as, if you don't have a private plane.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And you have to stare at those private planes while you're in the airport. Like, it's the only thing you can look at. So we're there. We're like, all right. So we just kind of buckle down, just playing on our phones. Thank God for the Wi-Fi. And our flight just keeps getting more and more delayed because it was a maintenance thing. So our plane wasn't even there. But the other flights were now starting to get super delayed, or like, I thought there was going to be a mutiny, like for serious, at the airport because there were all these rich people, right? Not rich enough private planes.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're not quite rich, but yeah, okay, yeah.
You're rich enough that somebody who's getting married in Aspen.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. And we are not, by the way. We were the 3 improv friends. And it's because of the wind at this point during the midday on Sunday. And at one point,
now it's weather. So now they're no longer, they can say that they don't
not
have
our flight. Our plane wasn't there. This was the other. These are all the other flights.
Okay.
And at one point they actually made this announcement. They're like, we're so sorry, folks. The Delta flight, we're not entirely sure when it's going to be able to take off, if at all. It could be an hour. It could be 3 hours. And if this flight doesn't leave today, we don't have another one for 2 days. And I was like, oh, damn. Now, at this point, people are starting to panic, right? Because it's Sunday. Monday's coming. They're trying to get cars. No more cars. Somebody was like going to Uber to Denver, which is not mileage far, but it takes like 3 hours because you got to drive through the miles. The guy next to us is now talking about chartering a private plane to get to Denver.
If they're rich enough that you get 6 or 7 of you, you can, depending how big that plane. Although that's still, if the Delta flight can't take off, then then any other charter flight's going to be like, yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. So it was very strange, but there were then a bunch of people left because they were all going to Uber to Denver, and then they came back, and then some of those flights went out and some of them didn't. And I can't remember. I did a timeline. I laid out a whole timeline so that we could send this to United. So we just continually delayed. Finally, our plane lands. We're like, oh, thank God. Now, in the meantime, obviously our friends, here's all the delays. Paul just copied and pasted them into the chat for everybody.
We'll put them in there at the end. We'll let everybody just take a look at it.
Yeah. It's pretty impressive. That's just Sunday, by the way. We did not get out on Sunday. Spoiler alert. So our plane finally lands. We're like, oh my God, thank God. I'm doing a keynote on Monday morning for a big library association for a conference that's here. And a keynote is essentially, I'm presenting a half an hour how to use applied improv to improve your communication skills. Now, we had some foresight because I had heard that flying in and out of Aspen can be really problematic. So we had a plan in place that if something happened,
you had a backup.
We had a backup. Okay. So I'm texting all of them like, hey, like, here's the deal.
It happened.
Not yet. I'm like, if I get home before if my plane lands before midnight, I can do it. But if it lands after midnight, I'm going to be a disaster at 8:30
And how cute you thought you would be. Like, is it going to be midnight? Is it not going to be midnight? You're thinking it's still going to happen. You're still fully committed to this actually happening.
Yes,
you just don't know if it's, 11:30 or if it's 1:30.
Yep. So now we're like, okay, the plane is here. Finally, they board us. Oh, thank God. So we boarded at 9:29, or I'm sorry, we boarded at 8:41. We were supposed to leave at 12:39. Okay, so we finally board the plane at 8:41. At 9:30, they push out of the gate. And by push out, I mean, Dan and I know because we worked at a thing. It was still considered in the gate until the door was closed.
Yep.
And they push back. So finally, they close the door. They push us back.
There you go. Now it's bing. The clock ticks over, and now the flight crew starts to get paid. And now we're cooking with gas at this point.
Yep. Now we're cooking with gas, and now they're like, "Oh, hey, folks, we're going to be getting underway here shortly. They're just finishing fueling and getting our numbers." We waited for numbers so long every time we were on that plane. So then he comes back and he's like, "Well, folks, the winds just changed. 40 minutes ago, it was fine. Now the winds have changed and we have 1,000 pounds of extra fuel."
Why didn't you get us those numbers faster?
I know. So we're going to the runway and we're going to burn off this extra fuel. But now we're running into, we have 1 hour to get enough fuel burned off so that we can take off because Aspen has a curfew. Of course, Aspen has a fucking curfew. So we're just like, oh shit. At 9:40, I don't remember exactly what time. At some point, the flight attendant brings the drink card out and starts just handing out the liquor.
Well, like, you're done now.
And Paul looked at me and he goes, "We're not leaving. We're not leaving tonight." And he was right. At 9:29, the pilot gets on. He's like, "Well, sorry, folks. We're going back to the gate." So now we're stuck in Aspen.
Was it because of the curfew, or was there something else, or was it there? Okay.
Well, they said the curfew. Who knows? So now we have to figure. By the way, the entire weekend, Ubers were impossible to get in Aspen. And if you could get one, it was very expensive, and you probably got canceled on at least once, if not twice. So now it's 11 p.m. by the time we get off the plane, and we have to try to get to whatever hotel. So the first text United sent us is, "Here's 10% off of a hotel." No. I'm not staying here because I want to stay here.
Yeah.
You're putting us up.
Yeah.
No one to be found in the airport. Oh, yeah. During the earlier portion when they were trying to, because weight and balance was a big deal. So
right.
On all those flights that went out earlier in the day, they were offering, it wasn't 3,400, it was 2,400 was the most we heard someone get offered for their seat.
To get off you didn't take it?
It wasn't for our flight because our plane wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
I think that was a Denver flight.
Got
it was either Denver or LA. Those were the big
ones.
ones.
I will tell you that if I ever hear somebody, if I don't care, there's very little that I have to get to so much, because that's probably more than I'm going to make going to wherever it is I'm going. And so I will take it and I'll just turn around and be like, "Yep, I'll spend 4 more hours at the airport and get there a little later." Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
$2,400.
$2,400. They gave it out to around 12 people. $2,400.
Okay.
But our flight never got that because it wasn't, at that point, it wasn't a wait and, I mean, I guess it probably was kind of, but even if they tried to get us off the plane, there's no time. They didn't have enough time to figure all that out.
Right.
So we walk back into the airport. Now, Paul and I are divide and conquer because there's nobody there. This airport literally closes in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So finally we find people, then we get another email and we get hotel rooms, but it costs us $150 to get to the hotel using this shuttle.
What?
They were like trying to send us to the bus. Well, first off, United sent us Lyft coupons. So I ordered the Lyft, right?
Yeah.
And the woman at the airport, she's like, "We don't have Lyft here. Lyft doesn't exist in Aspen." I'm like, "Awesome. Cool. That's great." They're telling us to take a bus, like a city bus. Now, granted, it's Aspen, but still, with our bags, a city bus to get to some hotel that's 20 miles away. So there's happens to be this like shuttle guy that knows somebody that's at the airport. And so 6 of us pile into this shuttle, but it costs $150. 125 plus tip.
Divided or for each person?
The whole thing. The whole thing was
Okay.
100, which in theory isn't terrible, except that I'm not choosing this.
Right. Yeah.
The hotel was fine. It was nice. The bed was comfortable. I'm exhausted at this point. Now, something that I've never had happen. They didn't rebook us on an existing flight for the next day. Our entire flight was delayed until the next day. So we had the same seat assignments, same flight crew, all of that, 10:30 a.m. the next day. So we arranged with this driver, come and get us at 8:30. We'll be at the airport at 9:30, here we go.
Start all over fresh and we'll get out of here early on Monday morning.
Yeah. So we get to the airport. They're mad at us for taking our bag tags off, but everyone the night before had told us to take our bag tags off of our check bags. So now they have to reprint.
And then they got to delete your other tag since it's the same flight.
Yep. So they got to delete all that and reprint the bag tags and whatever. And then they're sending us. So we go through security and we're there at 10:15. I'm like, I don't think we're leaving at 10:30 since we're not on this plane yet. I don't even remember when the first delay came. So now we're being delayed because of weather in Chicago. So Chicago weather is terrible. But I'm texting you and I'm like, hey, how is the weather in there? What is happening? So Dan and I are in constant communication. I can't remember exactly what time we actually ended up taking off. We landed they boarded us. So we were supposed to leave at 10:30. I want to say they boarded us. Paul, can you put day 2 up? So I can see the timeline. They board us at some point, and then
they boarded you a long time ago.
Yeah. So they get us on the plane. Now we've lost some people. I don't know if they drove to Denver or I don't know what these people rented their own plane. I don't freaking know. And this plane was not full to begin with, and it's a little regional jet. It was actually surprisingly very comfortable. So they finally get us on the plane. We're on the plane, and we're on the plane, and we're on the plane.
There you go. You departed at 1:04 p.m.
Yeah, but that was after.
Yeah, so you're supposed to leave at 10:30, and now
you're supposed to leave at 10:30. We were on that plane for a good 2 hours before we actually left. The pilot, the first thing he gets on, and he comes out of the cockpit. He's standing right in front of us, and he's like, "Well, folks, I've got some news for you. We're ready to go, but." And, says the weather delay in Chicago. And this one guy in first class is like, are you fucking kidding me? Just get us out of Aspen. And at that point, we all felt that. We're like,
just take off, go as far as you can. Can you get us to Rockford? Can you get
anywhere?
Can you get us to Davenport?
Out of Aspen, because this place is cursed. And so he's like, I'm sorry, sir. I wish there was something I could do. And then he went and talked to him. And the guy wasn't, I don't think, purposely trying to be a dick.
No, but
he was so frustrated.
I totally get it.
And we were all just like, oh my God, we're never leaving. So then they're like, well, you can get off the plane if you want. We highly recommend you don't, because as soon as they say we can go, we're closing up and we're going. And then of course people got off the plane. I'm like, you just spent literally 12 hours in this airport yesterday. There's nothing in there. There's nothing in there.
There's nothing in there.
So we decided to just stay on the plane because honestly, it was more comfortable than sitting in there. Yep. Someone destroyed the lav. I'm not even going to describe to you that situation that was happening in that lavatory on the plane. Yep. But something we did find out from the woman in front of us is the little flight or the food vouchers. Because at this point, they've now sent us each $45 in food vouchers.
Right.
You can use them to recharge your Starbucks card.
No.
Yes, because it's got a basically credit card information on it, and you just have to enter that in your payment method. And we found that out from the woman in front of us, and then we all did it because we hadn't used it because there was nothing in that airport to.
Right, there's no Starbucks in the airport to go use it at.
No, God, I wish there had been oh God, and a soda was $5. It was insane. So anyway, I know this is such a long story. We finally departed at 1:04 Mountain Time. We land at 3:30. It took over an hour and a half to get our bags in Chicago. And it was, that none of us killed anybody at this point was just a freaking miracle.
But it would have been, I think, justifiable.
I think
you could have Roxy Hearted your way out of that one.
I'm just saying. I would have sang for him and everything.
Yeah.
But so I'm never going to Aspen again. because getting in and out of there is a nightmare. And apparently now the airport's going to close for 6 or 9 months, and who the hell knows?
According to your detailed log,
yeah.
426 arrived in Chicago. 6:11, the bags arrived at the baggage claim. How?
Oh, Dan, I can't.
Screw it. We don't even need the bags. Just
tell you.
Send them. You know, if you left the airport, they probably would have sent you the bags.
I doubt it. I don't trust them.
Yeah.
They literally, I took a video of the line of people at the baggage claim office. Easily 100. Easily, because it was huge storms here. Like, it really was bad.
Just tell them you lost my bag. They'll find your bag and they'll messenger it to you, or they'll ship it to you. Yeah.
We waited, and then we took another Uber, and I have never been more tired. I was like, thank God I had packed enough underwear like I was going to poop myself every day. Because that's just how I roll. Socks and underwear, I always have at least twice as much as I need.
Me too.
Yep. Everything else you can reuse, but those are the important bits.
Yep.
So the
3
moral
days,
of the story.
3 days, it's 6 pair of underwear.
Oh, minimum.
Yep.
I might even throw an extra 2 in just in case.
Yeah.
And if there's a swimming pool or a situation where you might be in a hot tub or something, you got to have more then. You know what I mean?
You don't wear those in the pool.
No, but you'll change your clothes more often. Like, I'm not.
You can change back into the ones you were wearing.
Absolutely not. No.
Yeah. Hold on. If you put your underwear on in the morning at like, let's say 9 o'clock.
Yep.
You go swimming at 1 o'clock, and when you get out of the shower at 2 o'clock from your you don't put the 9 or 10 a.m. underwear back on.
The dirty ones? No.
They're not. They're dirty from you.
No, absolutely.
It's no
not.
different. It's actually less. They're less dirty than had you just been wearing them. The only way that makes sense is if you routinely go in at like noon or 1 o'clock and change your underwear, whether you need to or not.
Well, no, it makes sense because I took them off and then I showered. I'm not putting them back on. Absolutely not. No.
You know, honestly, it was 23 minutes, but I think we just got to like the most important thing we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
today.
I think so too. You just put your dirty underwear back on? Now, I say that, but I live with
someone. That's not dirty because I wore it for like an entire day the day before, or I didn't scrounge it out of the hamper.
How is it any different?
Because you didn't make it to the hamper. It got to the side of the hamper. It got to the
hamper's what makes it dirty and not you actually touch. It's not it physically on your body.
No, now I will say if I'm going to do like a show, I will change my underwear before I do the show.
Okay, so what's the difference? Why wouldn't you put your other underwear back on?
I don't know, because if 9 o'clock with a 1 o'clock swim, you can wear the same underwear.
I disagree.
So
let's hear it. We're in it now.
I'm trying to think of the scenario. Like you go to the doctor's office.
Well, that's different.
Why is it different, Nicole? You put your dirty underwear right back on.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I haven't showered or been in a body of water. You know what I mean? Where everything's clean. It's just everything on me is as dirty as it was when I took them off, so now I'm going to put them back on. But if I have in some way cleansed myself, whether that be in a pool situation or not, I'm not putting my dirty underwear back on.
I think until, like 4 or 5 o'clock. I think at 5 o'clock, okay, now it's acceptable to change it, but mid-afternoon underwear change is crazy. You don't, unless you've done something to the underwear that needs to make them
right. Unless there's whatever happened in the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So I think we danced around because that's such an obvious exception to this.
Yes, if you've literally created a situation.
Yeah.
So it was truly the worst travel I've ever experienced. We drank out the bar cart because they didn't have catering there because it's such a small airport.
Yeah.
So there was no gin left for the Monday flight.
All right.
I switched to rum.
Comment section, everyone. Comment section.
Comment section. Are you changing your underwear?
9 o'clock
a.m.
Wake up, shower. You put on your fresh underwear at 9 o'clock. Swim at, let's say, 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
At 2 o'clock, after you've come back to the room, take the shower. Same underwear, new underwear.
We need to know. I know what my husband will say. He's on your camp.
Of course he's on my camp. That's what everybody's going to say. It's the logical camp.
That's not the logical camp. You've re-showered. You change. Yep. I knew Carla'd be on my side.
Carla's a change underwear. Paul's the same underwear.
Wait, Paul, are you saying you changed? Oh, no.
Same,
I see.
Same underwear.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Of course he is. Does your wife? You don't have to call her out, but
I don't know. I don't know what she would do. It sounds like this is a male-female thing so far.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, that kind of makes sense. We got a lot more to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's not like we have nothing, but yeah, I mean, I mean, there's extra. Yeah.
There are things that could go wrong for us.
It's just,
I'm just saying.
Okay. So I think we got a male-female thing here.
I think
where
so
the line's breaking down.
If we knew how to do a poll.
Yes. I think you'd have until, I think you almost have until like 6, 7 o'clock at night.
Before it's an underwear change
Before you have to change that underwear. Yeah. Like you could go swim at 3 or 4 in the afternoon and it's not the same underwear, but.
Disagree.
Yeah.
Disagree. Right. I also would never turn my underwear inside out and wear them again.
No, I've heard of that too.
I have too. And I'm like, absolutely not. What's the point?
It's funny that you and I pack all this extra underwear, but then we have different, philosophies when it comes to using it. Right.
Right. You've got them, Dan.
Yeah.
It's not like you don't have.
I know.
And I mean, it's not an endless supply. You're not at home.
Yeah.
Or if you are at home, even more reason to
very
change.
Comfortably do 2 a day.
When
I'm traveling. So
just throwing it out there. Think about it next time.
Okay. I will say if I'm outside, like sweating a lot, like if I'm doing something, if you like golf or you do something outside for a while, you stand out, then obviously that's right. A must
if there's
change.
A moisture situation.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
Paul said based on the Monday outfits, plenty of people did not pack extra changes of clothes. I would agree with that. There was a lot of funk happening on that flight.
And you get your swamp ass / monkey butt, and you got to deal with that. So
yeah, nobody wants that.
Okay, so we don't have time to do anything. Well, let's do one more. Let's just do one. You want to do one fun one?
Sure, do a fun one.
Okay. This comes from Iowa at the Casey's convenience store in Tiffin. Are you familiar with Tiffin?
I'm not, but I love Casey's Donuts.
It's just outside of Iowa City.
Oh, okay.
Tiffin. You like the Casey's donut? I will tell you, like the only Casey's donut that, because you can find better donuts everywhere.
Disagree.
Yeah,
go ahead.
But the one you can't find better anywhere is the cake maple donut.
It's the cake with chocolate frosting for me.
You can find that's Dunkin' Donut. You can find the exact same thing.
No, absolutely not. I've never had one as good as Casey's. I bet you I've stopped in Tiffin. Is it on I-80?
Yeah.
So I probably have.
I'm sure. Yeah.
At that Casey's.
Yeah. So anyway, a woman got busted she was busted about. Let's see, 2 months before this for driving her SUV while under the influence of meth. And then her name is Michelle Hudson. She's 36. And if you saw a picture, that's meth.
Guess meth?
Yep. It's Michelle Methany Hudson.
Oh, Jesus.
So
comedy.
Yeah, she was arrested this past Friday night. She was busted again for driving under the influence.
Of meth?
Seems like it could be, yeah.
Yeah.
But she, instead of driving her SUV, this time it was an orange Husqvarna riding lawnmower.
What?
She took her orange. Well, you can't take the car.
No.
At least she listened to that part.
Yeah.
I didn't have a car. Maybe they didn't give her the car back. But she was getting to Casey's for damn sure. And maybe it was for the donuts. I don't know. But yeah, she got busted for driving her riding lawnmower in Tiffin, Iowa at the Casey's.
Honestly, I feel like that's a pretty normal thing in Iowa.
About a mile from her residence.
You know what I mean? Just whatever
you
got.
Yeah.
Just
that's not, you say that, but I remember it was probably like 8 or 9 years ago before you saw this everywhere. Because now if you go into any town, there's always like people renting those little, those, they're not golf carts, but they're like the motor there. And
those were all over Aspen.
Yeah. Before I saw that anywhere else, I saw it at a Casey's near Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Really?
And I say near, but it was probably 30 miles outside. So it was a small little town. And some dude just pulled up in a cart and rolled right up to the Casey's and got out. I'm like, you can't drive that on the road. Like, what is happening here? And so the first time I ever saw anybody driving something where I went, what? It was
Iowa.
It was Iowa. Yeah. And I wish I could remember the name of the town, but it's like outside of Marion. It's before you get to Marion. It's a small little whatever before you get to Cedar Rapids on, what is that, 218? About 10 miles outside of Cedar Rapids, wherever that Casey's is. That was the town. And yeah, it was. And I mean, you look at the town and you go, yep. I mean, I get it. It made sense, but I'm like, you can't drive this on the road. Apparently you can.
I think a lot of shit got driven on the roads that wasn't supposed to in Iowa. Still happening.
Still does. And I mean, maybe. Now the other thing is, to be fair, I want to be completely fair to this woman. She may have thought she was driving her car.
Good point.
Right? I mean, if the meth was kicking in again, so it may not be as crazy as it sounds, like she was driving her, her riding lawnmower. She may have thought she was back in the SUV.
Yeah. I mean, that's possible.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, thank you all so much for joining us for the Still Spinning podcast. We will not be here next week, as it's Wisconsin State Fair time, everybody. That's right. So another week off. But the following week, all things go right in the world.
Well, hold on a minute.
Wait, are you going to still be on vacation?
Let me pull up the old calendar here and see what's going on.
Remember how great it was during the pandemic and we were all just
we just never had. Of course, we're here on Monday. We're here on Monday. We're here on Wednesday. We'll probably roll around on Friday. Who knows?
We're going anywhere.
But we have this problem every summer though. Like
summer's really hard.
And we get into the around the December, January busy seasons that we have. So hold on a minute. So
Dan's while Dan's consulting his calendar.
So the 17th. So you're talking about the 10th. The 17th was the day we get back from vacation. So
okay, so 17th is TBD. Yes. Probably not though.
But for sure the 24th if the 17th doesn't happen.
Provided I make it back from San Diego on time. I'm supposed to come back on Sunday, but I should have a lot better chance than Aspen.
Yeah, the weather's going to be a little better in San Diego than it was.
Do you think, can I tell you how little I'm not excited at all to get on a plane again?
I can't imagine.
I'm not
I tell you, Nicole, we've talked about this. If I can get somewhere in like 12 hours, I will drive.
We could have driven home from Aspen, Colorado in the time it took for us to get that flight home.
I will 1,000 times drive. Like, I know everybody and people think that's crazy, but like if I'm like, 12 hours, I'm good. 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., not a problem. I would rather do that. I would almost rather have like bamboo shoots stuck under my fingernails than get on an airplane if I don't have to.
Yeah.
But for sure, like if I can get there in 12 hours, if I can leave at 6 and be there by 6 p.m., it will be done.
See, usually I'm the opposite. Usually that's me in a car. I do not like to be in a car that long. I get a lot of anxiety. I'd rather be in a plane. But man, I wish we had driven that time. But regardless, maybe we'll see you in 2 weeks, everybody. If not, we'll see you in 3. Just watch the Facebook page for all your updates. We record live Mondays, sometimes. When we do the podcast, we record live Mondays at 7. Otherwise, it gets released on Wednesdays, wherever you get all of your podcasting fodder. I had a word in mind.
Feeds, the podcast feeds, the podcast.
Yeah, all your podcasts, wherever you get all your podcasts.
Stillspinningpodcast.com. You can go there too if you want to you can sign up through your podcast thing right there too.
Yeah. See, we got all kinds of ways we're taking care of you. Yeah. But until we talk to you next, have a great couple August weeks. If you can believe it's freaking August.
It's the worst ending ever.
Thank you. I'm really nailing it. My brain's still in Aspen, everybody. All right. We will talk to you very soon. Have a good one, everyone.
Still spinning.